they going to, how are they going to let a man with fucking brainworms, run the FDA?
Hallelujah, I am saved, I am so glad I am. Glory, 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 glory to God.
Hello, heathens. Welcome to Girls Gone Godless, the podcast where we think Tylenol is perfectly okay to take at any time, any stage of life. I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Noe. And I endorse this message.
On today's
Hello, heathens.
Okay.
Hello, heathens. Welcome to Girls Gone Godless, the podcast where we don't think people who have brainworms should be making health decisions for anyone, not themselves or others. I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Christina.
And I'm a brainworm. I'm Noe.
Hello, heathens. Welcome to Girls Gone Godless, the podcast where... Shit, I had it and I lost it.
Do you want me to do an intro as RFK Jr.?
Mm-hmm. I do. I want that.
Hello, heathens. Despite what you have seen in that fake news press conference, we believe that Tylenol is perfectly fine and valid for your children to take at any time, any moment of life, and it won't cause autism. And even if it does, it's fine. Autistic people fuck. I'm Noe.
I thought you were RFK. I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Noe.
And on this episode of Girls Gone Godless, we will be talking about the complete nonsense, brainworms, and roadkill that is the crunchy wellness to alt-right pipeline.
It's one of my favorite pipelines. I'm actually a huge fan of pipelines myself. I think the more pipelines in this country, the better.
Oh, have you ever considered just taking Tylenol PM and then the autism's only at night?
I made the mistake of not doing that. So I think all of the daytime Tylenol I've taken, it just kind of fucked it up, and I just have it all the time now.
I keep saying that I'm so over this administration and all the news and all the stuff that's happening, but it's like the next day, I'm all, can we go back to yesterday when it was just this instead of the, it's like, fuck.
And that's what they want to do, is overwhelm you. So it's like you can't grasp on to anything. They're just flooding you with all of this terrible shit.
And you forget, like, wait, what was it that was so crazy earlier this week? I don't know. I can't remember because yesterday was so fucking batshit crazy. That's all I can remember.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'm going to I'm not going to forget about this because this Tylenol thing is just, it's like fucking just put another blame on us. It's us. It's the moms. We took Tylenol and now we fucked up the entire world and gave everybody autism. You're not going to put any blame on the genetics of the fucking father.
Mark my words. They're coming for epidurals next.
I believe it. This crunchy to alt-right pipeline is terrifying.
Can you imagine, like, how many pregnant women are going to be out there and their husbands are going to be like, taking all the Tylenol away. If I find out that you took Tylenol, like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I heard from so-and-so that she took Tylenol. Oh, call CPS. Yeah. Like, where does this go? This is fucking insane. But then the fever is going to cause some issue, and it's going they're going to be like, oh, we took all the Tylenol away and autism is still here. Imagine that.
Yeah, and the studies are out there. They've been doing these studies for decades, and it's like the time that RFK, he's not doing shit, but the time that he supposedly has been researching this, okay, so decades and decades of actual doctors' work and studies and findings, but you found it in 3 months, and it's just Tylenol. It's just that easy. Like...
Right. Yeah. And the cure just happens to be something that Dr. Oz has his name on.
Right.
The fuck.
I hate it. I hate it here. We're in the bad place.
Dude, seriously.
Like, if you think Tylenol is bad, have you heard of guns?
Right. Yes. I saw the thing that said
Charlie Kirk.
We got Tylenol control before we got gun control.
Damn.
I'm going to take Tylenol even harder now. I'm going to start snorting it.
Extra. No, please don't take extra. It's really bad for your liver.
Right wing is saying like, oh, liberals are going to start ODing on Tylenol just to own the own the right.
That's a thing that they would do.
Okay, miss, I'm going to Tractor Supply to cure my COVID.
Right. Like, they so easily are like, oh, essential oils, and I'm going to put all this stuff on my skin, which goes into my body. And I'm going to take these supplements that say right on the bottle, consult your physician before you do, not FDA, approved. But then this thing that has been proven to be safe and has had
Right.
millions of studies, they're like, nope.
That was my first thought with this new thing that they're recommending. I know it's similar to folic acid, but it's not the same. But my concern is people are going to see this. And even if there is some good to this supplement, like you said, it's not regulated. How many mothers or just parents of autistic children are going to go get these supplements because they heard it's going to cure autism, and they're just going to overload their kids with these supplements that aren't regulated? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
to toxicity levels.
Vitamin A thing with the measles. RFK Jr. is like, oh, take vitamin A.
Wait.
And it,
Wait,
yes, with
what?
measles. Yes. But vitamin A is fat soluble. And so it doesn't leave your body like water soluble vitamin. So he's telling them like, oh, give your kids vitamin A, but they're just giving their kids a shit ton to ward off the measles or make the measles less whatever.
You guys, I gotta go. I can't.
Okay.
I just,
All right.
I'm,
All right. All right.
I can't. I
You've re-
cannot. I
you've reached
can't.
that
I
point.
can't. I
You've
I
reached the
fucking
point.
can't. I'm mad. I'm getting mad now. I am mad
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
because I am mad. I am mad because this is it's bullshit nonsense. These people don't know anything at all. They don't know anything at all. Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. is a lawyer and a bad one. And his face is puffy and bloated. So what the fuck does he know about anything? Go back into your brainworm bear cave and get the fuck away from the FDA because you don't even know how research works. When was the last time that he organized an internal review board?
He doesn't know what that is.
I'm a little mad at Oprah, too, for bringing Dr. Oz into the mainstream. Because look at we are now.
He's the least of my concerns right now because he's not even in charge of anything right now.
But he's
not
in charge
even
of the cure of autism.
Ah!
We laugh so we don't cry.
They don't know anything. They don't know about affinity of drugs, and they don't know about, I can guarantee you, they don't know about albumin binding. I can guarantee you they don't know about pharmacokinetics. I can guarantee you they definitely don't know about pharmacodynamics. Like,
Yes. And all three of us know exactly what those are, especially me.
but you're not in charge of the FDA.
I know.
God, Jesus fucking Christ on a cracker.
I don't know, man. It's the essential oil crunchy MLM bullshit.
It is. No, I don't know if you know this about me, but I was part of one of the essential oil MLM brands at some point. Like I was a person that was selling
doTERRA.
Same. doTERRA.
Young Living.
Young
Oh.
Young Living.
Us at doTERRA, we don't like Young Living.
And the other thing too is like with a lot of the things that the crunchy beef tallow people believe, like in moderation, like things are fine. I think you guys know this about me, but I think herbs are very useful. In my time as a midwifery apprentice, we would use herbs in practice, but if the herbs weren't working, we would use Pitocin. If the herbs weren't working, we would transfer to the hospital, right? So in moderation, a lot of these things are fine.
Right. It's the connecting it to other things like Jewish space lasers or
Once you believe in Jewish space lasers, you're kind of far gone.
There's no hope for you, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No.
But yeah, I mean, and it's easy to fall into. I was in a networking group where we'd get together every week. We talk about our businesses. And of course, you want to support your friends. And so many MLMs, or what do they call themselves? Multi-level marketing or whatever. Ponzi pyramid schemes. Reverse funnel systems, if you will.
I sold Jamberry.
The nails?
Yeah, but see, things like that, because I did Usborne, I fell into all of that stuff, right? I did Barefoot books, and I love them. I love their books, and I feel like, okay, books don't really hurt people. right? Nail polish is, whatever. But when it's like the Monat hair stuff and like them people's hair was like falling out, like I'm not going to kill somebody with a book,
She
right?
said them people's hair is falling out.
That's what I heard.
I'm sorry. I like essential oils because they smell good. It's scientifically proven that there are certain smells that can make you happy. I love the smell of oranges. I think citrus makes me happy. There's essential oils and perfume. Like, there's that kind of science behind it. But when you're saying like, oh yeah, it cures autism or it cures this, or you just use essential oils and don't use any other medication, that's where it's like gets
Right.
really culty.
Yeah.
And then, preying on people who are trying to, moms, they want to work from home and you're like, oh, do this, but you have put thousands of dollars into it. And,
Right.
it's just like religions. You're just tithing to another fucking church. It's just the church of multi-level marketing. It's just like capitalism. That's it. People at the top make the fucking money and drive them Mary
Right.
Kay
It's not a pyramid
Cadillacs.
scheme. It's just shaped like this, but it's
Right.
not.
Like
No,
it.
it's
just
the reverse funnel system.
it just looks like one. But no, I think that's a good point too, where people who are religious adjacent will fall into this more easily because they are used to having this hierarchical system of belief. And I feel like a lot of the MLMs and wellness culture is all centered around being anti-vax or questioning big pharma or
Right.
believing that essential oils will cure cancer and kill whatever. And then you get people like Jordan Peterson who are telling people to eat raw meat, but are also influencing people's political beliefs. And so that's kind
Right.
of where the whole beef tallow to alt-right pipeline comes into play. Like it's a slippery slope because that beef tallow just greases the slope, you know?
Right.
So they go from questioning whether or not the food that we eat is healthy to who determines what's healthy, like the FDA or the USDA or whatever. And then they start questioning the government and they start questioning big pharma. And then next thing you know, they're all the way down that pipeline.
Right.
Because the FDA doesn't regulate like supplements and stuff, and they put their whole life into all these supplements. And like, I know that this makes me feel better, and the FDA doesn't have any say in that. So why would I trust them with anything else? They're obviously not that important because I take these things that are not regulated by the FDA and I'm perfectly fine.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's so frustrating that it's like, we should question the government, but like you're going about it the wrong way.
Mhm.
Like there's such clear corruption, fascism right before our eyes. And they're like, I think the vaccines are like, they've got microchips in them. And it's like, no, there's a Nazi rally happening in front of your eyes. And they're like, what about that Tylenol?
Mhm. You've got a Nazi rally like disguised as a funeral.
Yes.
Not even
Yeah.
disguised, just straight up like
No.
plagiarizing from the Nazi playbook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, like when I was doing a lot more doula work and working with home birth midwives, a lot of people thought that that meant that I was anti-vaccine
Right.
and anti-science, and that's just not true. That it could be farther from the truth. The reason why I got into doula work was because if you look at the evidence from the research, it shows that having a continuous support person during birth improves outcomes
Mhm.
because there's actual scientific research on that, right?
Right.
So it was really interesting to see when COVID was really popping off. I think I posted something on my doula Instagram of where you could go get a COVID vaccine if you hadn't gotten one already. And someone sent me a message saying, wow, I was going to hire you as my doula, but I'm so glad I saw you for your true colors and who you really are, because I wouldn't want anyone who's had the vaccine anywhere near me because you're going to be shedding the vaccine on me and my baby.
Oh
Right.
my God. I feel like I blocked so much of the COVID stuff out. I worked in the medical field for 20 years. I quit in 2017 after I had Jacoby. So I was only out of the medical field for 3 years before COVID hit. And all my friends were still working at the hospital. And I still had so many doctors and nurses in my circle of friends and social media. And then I have people over here just with zero background telling me like, nope, everything that you're saying is wrong because I'm getting my information from God knows where, and I'm right and you're wrong. And it's like, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? I say that all the time, every day. I feel like that's kind of when that whole Twilight Zone started really happening. It's like, are you kidding me?
Right. The SoundCloud rapper that I knew in middle school who's never left town knows more about, vaccines and science than these experts do.
Right.
And I get the fear and the anxiety of it because I have been on the other side because that's how I was raised. So I get that. But like, why are you not questioning these things that are, like you said, they're not regulated? There's no, like, if you're questioning everything, why are you the first one to jump to Tractor Supply to, butt chug ivermectin? Like, it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, question everything except what Joe Rogan tells you. Like,
Yeah.
that's legit.
I see it a lot here where I live in the Bay Area. Like, we live in an area where there is, on one side, there is a really high level of people who are highly educated. I think we live in one of the regions of the US that has the highest number of college degrees. But then there are also people who have moved to this area because it's considered kind of just like free thinking and like back to the land. And there's people who live in Berkeley to just be like part of the crowd and scene, which is a little bit hippie-ish sometimes. So I feel like there's both sides of the coin where there's the wives of the tech bros who there's a lot of tech bros who follow, Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. And so I have had some exposure to these people and the things that they believe in and the things that they think of how the government is actually, out to get us and the bad guy and stuff. But like right now with the current administration, like, yeah, kind of. But like this is like before,
Right.
this was like, when the government made sense, but they still had this deep seated trust of institutions, especially when it comes to, big pharma and agriculture. So yeah, it was interesting. Like they wouldn't drink the water unless it was coming through their Berkey filter system because they didn't want to have the fluoride because the fluoride, I don't know, does bad stuff to your brain and causes autism and whatever. But then your teeth are going to rot out of your head. But I don't know where I'm going with that tangent. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. And how it ties into religion, the whole like faith over fear people, right? During COVID. Like, why are you so
They're
afraid?
afraid of everything.
Seriously, you're all sheep. We're not going to put that in our bodies, like this and that. And then it's like, they're like all smoking. Like, we're not putting that shit in our bodies. It's like, fucking hey, kidding
Oh,
me?
I have a funny thing that just reminded me of. So I used to have a best friend.
How dare you have another best friend?
I know. This friend that I used to have, as she would buy her pack of cigarettes, when they would give her the receipt for the cigarette packet, she would go, I can't touch that. It has bisphenol A. It's toxic.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
and then she like
Okay.
whips out her 10th cigarette of the day. Just like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I worked with a lady like that. She smoked cigarellos or cloves or some sort of brown cigarette. And she was so anti-vax, so anti-mask, so whatever. And I got Botox, or I was saying like I have an appointment for Botox or whatever. And she's like standing with one in her hand, not lit, because she's about to go on her break. And she's like, oh, I would never put that shit in my body. It's just disgusting. Like, how do you put that poison in your
Right.
body?
Right.
And I'm
she's
just
over here
looking at her like,
smoking.
are you fucking kidding me? And then I choose my poisons wisely, okay? Like,
If the poison's going to make me look good, I'm going to do it.
yes, exactly. And we got a new truck at work. And, like the new car smell, she thought that it was something that a smell that the government put into the truck to brainwash us into selling more for the company or whatever. So she would not drive the new truck because the smell was a government planted smell. So you can't, like, what do you do with these people? They vote and it's just insane. And it really all like, it's all tied in with religion and just the nonsense of everything. It's just worshiping another deity, but that deity happens to be RFK Jr. And
Beef
Dr.
tallow.
Oz and Trump and beef tallow. And isn't there like
Yeah.
a golden calf fucking joke in there somewhere? Like,
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. Yeah, I think it's really interesting because I don't know if you guys witnessed the same thing or like felt it like very strong during COVID. I feel like there was an even bigger like spike in the pipeline of people going over to the side of I don't even want to say to the side of Republicans, but just down this alt-right, like this
Mhm.
very extremist view of conspiracy theories and conservative views that are even more conservative than I guess like the mainstream
Right.
Republicans. So I feel like that's when I don't know when QAnon came about, but I feel like it was very prevalent during that time. Like once people started questioning vaccines, they started questioning what was in our food, they started questioning, you know, the trust of the government. And that was
Mhm.
even when Donald Trump was in office during COVID, like in 2020. But then I feel like the questioning of the government got even worse, obviously, after Biden was elected.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I feel like the big alt right figures really kind of came into a higher level of power once there was so much division in our country over the COVID vaccines.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like people had motivation to not believe it was really happening. One, because it was terrifying and they didn't want to admit, like, that's not really happening. And two, people didn't want to stay their asses at home. So they're like, yeah, it makes
Right.
sense. Of course, it's a conspiracy theory. I don't have to be fearful and I can do what I want. Like,
Right. And the thing that's crazy is the religious people who are always telling us to love thy neighbor and, do things for your fellow man and all that kind of stuff were the first people who were like, I'm not fucking taking a shot to keep. What would they say? I'm not going to.
get the jab.
um, Right. But like everybody forgot how a society works, right? If you want to be it was like every man for themselves. And they were the
Mhm.
first ones to be like, nope, I'm all about myself. And it's like, isn't your whole deal to be like Jesus? I feel
But
like
it's
in
not.
this
But it's
situation.
not, right? Because like we've said this before, like these
Right.
people are not actually living the tenets of Christ, right?
Right.
These people are the same ones who believe in American exceptionalism. These are the same people who think that having their guns taken away is the highest form of oppression that could ever be experienced ever. So these are the same people who refused to wear a mask at
Hmm.
the peak of the pandemic because it was encroaching on their freedoms.
Right.
When at that point I'd worked in surgery for about a decade and like I have to wear a mask all day long, every day, plus a gown, plus a hat,
Right.
plus my scrubs underneath all of that. And like, yeah, it sucks and you're hot. But like, once again, there's scientific evidence that says this is the best way that we can protect one another. But
Hmm.
for them, it's that whole oppression kink thing again, right?
Right.
It's look at these people taking this thing away from me, and they like
Right.
thrive on that energy.
Yeah, and it's like
Oh,
the
100%.
worst group project ever. It just shows how in America, I mean, other countries fared a lot better than we did, especially like Asian countries. I mean, they've been masking for so long because like they care about other people and they know as a collective to take care of people. Oh, when I'm sick, I'm going to wear a mask so it doesn't spread. And it's like, yeah, hello, hi. Like it's not that big of a deal. And it just
Right.
showed all of America's asses that people aren't even willing to do something basic just to
Right.
look out for someone else that they don't care about. It's all about what affects me, my liberties. And it's just like, okay. You can't wear a mask, but you can wear a maxi pad on your ear when Trump got fake shot.
Fake
Okay.
shot for sure.
That part.
Um, yeah.
Charlie
Oh, it
Kirk
was
was like,
the
watch this. This is how you really get shot,
right. Yes.
which I don't agree with. I think Charlie should be alive preaching what he wants to preach.
Well, you know, there's people that believe that he's actually not dead, that he fell through a trapped door under the tent that he was in, and that the shooting that was seen was actually just a hologram
Hologram. Hmm.
projection. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I will tell you that I've become quite the conspiracy theorist over this like whole thing the past couple weeks with his wife knowing Trump from her pageant days and her being a honeypot or whatever. Like that's really making a lot of sense to me and I'm here for it. But the I'm not going to set myself on fire to keep you warm. That's what they would always say. Like, why am I going to, when we talked about herd immunity and everything, a certain amount of people have to do this to protect the ones that can't. And that's when everybody was like, oh, well, why does it have to be up to me to do that? Why do I have to harm myself or whatever to keep your kid, from getting, but I think we've just had it too good. And we're in a generation now where people don't know. They're too far removed from when it was really shitty. And unfortunately, we're going to get back to that again. And it's going to have to go through that cycle of where people are dying of polio and people are getting disfigured and people are getting the measles. Because it's like smog. Everybody's so pissy about, oh, California you have to smog and this and all that. And then it's like, I fucking remember when LA, you couldn't see with your hand in front of your fucking face. Tax all of my gas. I don't give a shit. I want clean air. Like, I want my kids to have clean air. I don't want them to have fucking asthma and COPD and all this other shit.
Right.
I'll pay a little extra so that I can see the fucking Hollywood sign. I'm sorry. Like, I'm fine with that.
Vaccines have worked so well that it's made people think that they aren't really necessary because they've worked so well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and measles is back. Measles is making a resurgence because
Measles is strutting down that runway, hunty.
Measles is so hot this season. Because you'll get a fever and fucking die. But like, people aren't vaccinating their kids, and in order to have herd immunity for most of these illnesses is we need 80% of the population to at least 80%. Once it falls below 80%, then we don't have herd immunity anymore. And so I'm sure there are some areas of the country where they're
Florida.
not parts of Texas and Idaho and God knows where else, but like, they're not vaccinating their kids, and it's becoming a public health crisis when it doesn't have to be. Or I saw it a lot in the birth world where people didn't want to give their babies vitamin K after birth because they're like, well, why would I need to give this to my baby if they were born without it? There's obviously a reason why they don't have it. And it's like,
and then they show up with a brain bleed.
Yeah. Like, yes. Or like, they would say, well, I'll only give it to my kid if my labor is traumatic and there's a chance that the kid has internal hemorrhage. Well, by the time that we realize that that's happened, it's too fucking late.
Too late.
It's too late. Or they say like, oh, I'm not going to give my kid the vitamin K because kids don't die from vitamin K deficiency bleeding anymore. Why do you think that is? It's because we're giving vitamin K, right? Yeah. Like, it's absolutely infuriating to me when people are making these literal life and death decisions for their child, this innocent child, based on misinformation.
Yeah.
It used to just be that they were Christian Scientists or Jehovah's Witness, and that's why they were making terrible medical choices for their children. Now they're just normal Joe Blow on the street making these stupid choices. It's like...
Yeah. I wish I could like remember what the turning point, turning point was for me. Because I was terrified. I don't know how I got to where I am now, but I wish I knew so that I could help more people come to the light.
Yeah. So vitamin K doesn't cross through breast milk.
Right.
So you're not protected. Like, you're not born with vitamin K in utero. It doesn't cross over through breast milk. We get vitamin K because it's produced in our gut from bacteria. And so since babies are born with nothing inside of their gut, they're not producing vitamin K. And so they get vitamin K from eating actual food, but they don't start eating food until, they start eating food, which I don't know how that works because I have a 15-month-old and she refuses to eat food. So I don't know. I don't know when they're supposed to eat, but I know that when they're born, they don't have vitamin K in their gut biome, or it's not being produced.
For a baby who's refusing food, you sure do send us a lot of adorable videos of her eating.
Okay, but she's eating like the same 3 things every time. It's peas and yogurt and Cheerios, and that's all right.
Really, when it comes to it, I have a referral for some really good nutritional therapists. Hey, Rocket's eating spaghetti and garlic bread now, so
love that.
That's great.
But I know. I keep going back to that, like, faith over fear, and that's in the medical field is always just never made sense to me. It's like, if you're going to poo-poo on all of this technology and all of this stuff, then just stay home and pray about it,
Right.
I
Like,
guess.
Yeah.
But
why come into the ER? But I guess at that point, they're like, oh, fuck.
right.
My prayers weren't being answered fast enough, so I need to go to the emergency room to get medicine because
Right.
God gave the knowledge to this specific doctor that's going to be at the ER when I get there. The person that's in my nursing school cohort right now, who is an anti-vaxxer, she was asking if anyone knew where to find the declination form for COVID and flu. Like the flu? Like you won't get a flu vaccine? Like COVID, okay, it's new, but the flu vaccine?
Yeah. The flu vaccine you can never convince anti-vaxxers to get the flu
Mm-mm.
vaccine. That's like the
Which is so
worst.
yeah, it's crazy to me. Rich and I have this argument. We've had it for years because he's like, whatever, I don't need the flu. And I always had to get it for work, right? Or else I would have to wear a mask for 4 months.
And it would take away all your liberties. I understand.
And you would have no freedom.
Yeah, this
Right.
was way before COVID, though. So this was like, I was sitting in a call center and I would have to wear a mask to talk on the phone if I refused the flu shot. But I've never in my life even thought about refusing the flu shot. It was always like, bring it on, baby. I don't want the fucking flu. Or I would like a more mild, form of the
Right.
flu or whatever. But it's like saying I walk across the street and I don't look both ways and I've never been hit by a car. It's like the odds that you're going to get hit by a car if you're not looking both ways are obviously raised just because you specifically have not been hit by a car. What was that?
Oh, I don't want to show it. It has shrimp.
What is it?
It's shrimp.
Oh, it's
Oh.
fine. Eat your shrimp. Eat your shrimp.
I want somebody to bring me food. Shit. I'm all by myself. But, it's like things like that. Like, oh, I don't wear a seatbelt and it's like that anecdotal bullshit.
The survivor's bias.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, you don't know how bad things are if you've never experienced them. Right?
And
like,
even people who have experience, they're like, oh, COVID, it was horrible. I was in bed for 5 days. I felt like shit, da 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 da, but I didn't die. So I don't care if I give it to someone else. Like, you want somebody else to experience what you went through, even though it was mild? Like, you still felt like
Mhm.
shit. You want other people to feel like shit?
yeah, because they don't care about other people.
I know.
That would take compassion.
But that's
They
what's so crazy because they're the fucking Christians who are
They-
supposed to care about people.
If they've suffered, they want other people to suffer. It's the same thing with like universal health care or debt
Student
loan forgiveness. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
had to pay mine, so everyone else should forever. It's just like, just because you fucking had to go through something doesn't mean that everyone else has to.
Yeah.
It's like it's hazing, right? It's like I suffered, so you have to suffer too. And then we get people in power like RFK who had brainworms and is a lawyer and has no right telling anybody anything. He just needs to go. He looks dead. Okay. Like if you've seen a dead body, that like puffy, bloated face, that like I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Between his face and Trump's hands, we almost have a whole corpse going on. It looks like somebody was pulled from a fucking river.
Like, can you imagine the smell of them? That room? All of that
It
beef
smells
tallow
like old McDonald's hamburger
and roadkill.
and C. diff.
Oh, God. Oh, C. diff is the worst. That fucking smacks you in the face the minute you get off the elevator.
Mhm.
Good Lord.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't miss that shit at all.
It's fine for Trump to eat McDonald's every day and Diet Coke every day. But like pregnant women can't have Tylenol because
Mhm.
Right.
autism? Like, what do you mean? Like, there's proof and evidence that you eating McDonald's every single day is bad for your health and bad for your arteries and bad for your cholesterol. So yes, Trump, keep eating it, please. But like
double up.
you're gonna double up. I want 2-a-days on that McDonald's, you know what I mean? On the double. But like you're gonna victimize pregnant women and say that they get zero anything for pain relief because you said so, because there's no proof that
Right.
Tylenol causes autism or anything.
And
Right.
trying to take away, the choice of whether or not you even go through with a pregnancy. Now it's like, not only do you have to, but you're going to be in pain. Like,
You're
what
gonna
else are they
suffer.
going to take away?
Right.
Well, yeah, I saw something interesting that was talking about how, like, earlier I said that they're coming for epidurals next, but like, it's because if it's a religious thing, women are supposed to suffer because of the sins of Eve, right? So
Right.
that's why periods are painful. That's why childbirth is painful. So they also want pregnancy to be uncomfortable and be painful, so you can't have Tylenol.
A fake, made up story about a chick eating a fucking apple in a garden with a talking snake.
Did the apple have a worm in it?
It
Did
had a
Eve get
brainworm.
brainworms?
Yes. And that is what we're basing like medical, not laws, but like medical rules on. I don't
Well, that's
understand.
I mean, religion's the reason why abortions have been limited. Religion is often the motivating factor as to why we can't do things here, except for guns, because guns were definitely not in the Bible. I've never seen guns in the Bible, not one time, but they believe in those so powerfully and heavily and strongly.
Right. Did you ever see that that Family Guy clip of, it's like an action movie where Jesus Christ comes back for revenge and he has like guns and shit? It's Passion of the Christ 2. Crucify this. You're crazy, Jesus. That's what my ex-wife says.
That's a Jesus that the Republicans would like. He's a gun-toting freedom Jesus.
Apparently they are making a Passion of the Christ 2, so it's even funnier now.
Oh, great. The second coming. No, but I have seen those stupid fucking bumper stickers that say if Jesus had a gun, he wouldn't have been crucified or whatever. And it's like, what?
But then he wouldn't have died for our sins.
Right.
No, Jesus, the crucifixion, like, yeah, no, that had to happen, obviously, because his dad set up this system to where Jesus needed to die for our sins. That
Right.
is a concept that's made up by God, who made this the rules.
But people were immediately sinning.
Right.
Like, Jesus died and people were still fucking sinning. You think like Jesus died and there weren't people out of wedlock fucking in a hut down the street? Like, people were still fucking sinning
Right.
right after he died. Like, I do not understand.
All I know is that Jesus would have taken Tylenol, and he would have gotten the COVID vaccine, and he would have worn a mask.
And if there was a God, he could have prevented a pandemic. I'm just saying, you kind of have the power to do it because if he's real, he's up there like, let's see, like he just wants us to fucking fight. He loves this. Like he wants us to have the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers and the maskers against the anti-masker. You know, it's just like always fighting, always over stupid shit. Like masks have been around forever. You don't want your fucking surgeon to be wearing a mask? You don't want your dentist or your dental hygienist to be wearing a mask? Like, are you like, I wonder now if they go, oh, this fucking woke dentist office. She was
Right.
hovering over me with her fucking mouth like this far away from my face
Right.
and she had a mask on.
You don't want my Christian spit in your mouth?
It's like, you want a barehanded surgeon? You want a barehanded surgeon in your abdomen because you think gloves and masks are woke?
Right.
It's the dumbest shit. Did you see that shit about Trump's Bible and how it's missing like the amendment about slavery and is not even in the Constitution in the back?
It doesn't
No,
even
let me repeat
belong
that.
in
The
it doesn't
fucking
belong in the
Constitution in the back of the Bible.
Okay, I'm gonna get mad again. I'm gonna
Okay.
get mad again.
Do it.
Okay, back to the crunchy pipeline. So, do you think it was influencers, social media to blame for all of this? I
Yeah.
kind of feel like health nuts have always been kind of culty, right?
Yeah, yes. But I feel like a lot of the healthy people previously had more progressive beliefs.
Right.
I feel like the wellness culture, wellness influencer to alt-right pipeline is a newer thing, right?
Back in my day, hippies used to be liberals.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, so here's my specific memory about this. When I was growing up in church, yoga was seen as demonic. because you're opening up your body to these Indian Hindu gods and stuff, and you don't know what these words mean with the yoga poses and stuff. So it's demonic. So you shouldn't be doing yoga. But now I feel like yoga is a big part of that pipeline where people will fall down.
White women who want to have good bodies and wear
Namaste.
yoga pants. And they're like, fuck that. We're taking it from them and we're going to adopt some sort of, we're going to put a Christian slant on it.
We're
and
colonizing yoga.
Right.
So there is, like, I saw it somewhere, a Christian yoga. Where,
Of course there is.
of course there is. They've renamed a lot of the different poses and stuff to like English names.
Right.
I almost said American names, but to names that are not like Shavasana, like the laying down like corpse pose or whatever, has like a different name. And so they are constantly colonializing Eastern practices to have that align with their, I don't know, belief system. So
What? White
I feel
people
like,
doing that?
go figure.
No way.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But yeah, so I feel like when I was coming up, the people that worked at the health food store were, progressive and liberal. And now all of a sudden it's people who are alt-right and QAnon and more conservative than ever before.
We've talked about before where people, even if they have changed, they're scared to say it because they don't want the I told you so's or whatever. Or, they have to reconcile with themselves that they've harmed people with their advice and their, like, have you talked people out of things that, and like John said, he regrets a lot of things that he preached because it hurt people,
Yeah. And for most people, it's easier to just brush that aside.
Yeah. I have such a rebellious spirit.
That sounds very religious of you to say.
Oh, really?
That's something that a religious person would. I have a very rebellious. My daughter, Christina, has a very rebellious spirit.
I've seen it. She wears pants.
I do.
Wear pants?
I know.
do.
It's shocking.
Like, if people are doing it or telling me to do it, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. And I feel like that's kind of been in the past few years, like with stuff that maybe would be good for me or beneficial to me. I'm like, no, not going to do that because some lady on Facebook is, saying she uses this for whatever. And I'm like, nope, not going to do it.
Now I'm not going to do it just on principle.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm just going to chug my Tylenol. And that's it. Tylenol for everything.
Don't actually chug it.
Tylenol for everyone. No, I know.
Yeah.
I like my liver.
You get a Tylenol. You get a Tylenol. Look under your chairs.
But we're all on this health journey, and it's like you get sucked into like creatine and protein and supplements and fiber and blah blah blah, and it's like
not all of us get sucked into that, Christina.
No, I am. I'm sucked into it.
I'm not sucked in. I had to stop going to the chiropractor because I was like, oh, you are pseudoscience. I went because I have this weird back thing. I just need my back popped in one particular spot every once in a while. Why are you selling supplements? Why are you giving medical advice?
Chiropractors are crazy.
That's a whole other thing. Like when I was Mormon, I had a friend whose dad was a chiropractor. And like everyone in the ward would go to him for everything.
Yeah. No.
There's a chiropractor out here that goes to births and delivers babies and does adjustments on babies.
Those newborn adjustments make me sick.
It's like babies don't even have bones, basically.
Yeah. I've never been able to get on board with the baby chiropractors.
Fuck those baby chiropractors practicing medicine as infants.
No, there's this chiropractor out here that like does adjustments on newborns when they won't breastfeed on one side because they say that the baby was in utero all cramped up on one side. And so they think if they do this adjustment, then the baby will be able to breastfeed. And like there's parents who won't take their baby to get evaluated by a dentist for a tongue tie, but they'll take him to a chiropractor.
Yeah, chiropractors were big in my family. And when the kids and Travis got into the car accident, our lawyer was like, you need to go to the chiropractor to, just document that you guys have been injured. And they did an adjustment on the kids one time. And I was like, never fucking again. But It was so scammy. If they were just to say, we know how to pop your back and like it it feels good, like okay, but it's all of the other stuff that comes with it where they pretend
Right.
like they're medical doctors.
Yeah. Because I've been to a good chiropractor who was also like a massage therapist, and I had a thing in my neck and she worked that shit out. It was great, but that was it. That's what I went for. That's what I got. There was no extra shit. But now it's like, chiropractors during COVID were writing medical exemptions for the COVID vaccine.
Mhm.
Um, but along the lines of, hurting people, when I was in my networking group, we had a chiropractor in there. So when people were asking online, like, oh, I'm looking for a chiropractor, I would recommend her. It's like, how many kids or people
Right.
did I send to this person?
Did you guys ever go down the LuLaRoe rabbit hole of MLM? You know, those
Mhm,
I
leggings?
have some
mhm.
leggings
I have
still
some.
from LuLaRoe.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a bunch.
I never got into that, but that seemed crazy culty.
The founders are Mormon.
Mhm.
So for Jamberry too, which was
Yeah, a
very
lot.
weird for me to be thrown back into that.
Right. I sold chalk couture for a while, which is like a chalk paste, and then it's kind of like screen printing.
They
Okay.
really be selling anything.
For
They do,
real.
right, and I really liked it because I was an artist and it was neat. You could, like, make these things, but then you had to, get a team. I never had a team. I was like, "I'll join because I get a discount, but
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing the team thing. I'm
Yeah.
not putting anybody
I
on my
did
team."
with Jamberry. I feel like they really took advantage of me because Aries was a newborn and obviously I didn't have anyone to help me. Like I couldn't work an actual job. And so I got a small amount of food stamps and I got a small amount of cash assistance because, when you have a baby, you can get that if you don't have any help. And I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know, like I feel like because I had to give up my assistance if I was going to make any money. And I'm like, this doesn't feel like a safe or smart thing to do. And they're like, no, it's fine. Like they really preyed on me. And I was so young and I was working so many hours a day trying to fucking sell Jamberry just to not even make as much as I got in my food stamps. It was a really dark, shitty time.
Yeah, they are very predatory. I had Norwex. I loved I I still use my Norwex stuff, and I feel like it sucks that they're an ML. I wish they would just sell it in a store, but
Right. It's just like, why can't they just sell these products if they're so good? Why do you need a whole team of people under you to force
right,
people to buy them?
because it's
Yeah.
yes, because it's great.
I just huffed the oils. That was my
Yeah, and
thing.
I mean, I still have friends that are, doTERRA, and I have a closet full of it. I smell it if I want to, like, smell something that smells good, and then I put it away, and I'm like, "That's great."
This is the captivating content people are tuning in for. I smell essential oil when I want to smell something good. We're
But
killing it,
I'm
you
not
guys.
putting I know, but I'm not making it my religion, and I'm not making it
Right.
my whole fucking identity, and that's the
You're
thing too.
not putting it in your hole or making
They
it your whole
I
identity.
am not. But that's a whole other thing is the fucking identity. It's you can't trust any like people slide into your fucking DMs that you haven't talked to forever and
Hey,
you're like, "Oh
boo.
I went to high school. Remember we went to high school together?" It's like, "Oh, I sell Plexus," or like whatever.
Right.
That's the only reason they're fucking reaching out to you.
Yeah,
They
and
want you to
it's
buy
so
their shit. They want you on
offensive,
their team. Mhm.
especially when it's weight loss shit. Like, I had people sliding
Mhm.
into my DMs. Do you remember those stomach wraps they used to do? Like, it's a
Mhm.
stomach
Yeah.
wrap party. You're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
girly, haven't talked since I bullied you in high school, but I noticed you're looking a little plump after having a baby. So I was
Oh my
wondering,
god.
do you wanna come to my house and I can wrap you in Saran wrap and bully you that way? Does that sound
Right.
good?"
And I want to preface this because I know that there's a lot of people that I'm friends with, maybe you guys are friends with, that are still either in an MLM or were in, or
You guys are my only friends.
it took me a while to realize because I was not from a religion that this shit is predatory just like a religion. Like I am no longer, if it's an MLM, I'm out, not fucking doing it. I'm not listening to your spiel. I'm not fucking taking your samples. I don't want to fucking do it's a religion. And I'm putting it on the shelf with every other organized religion. You're just preying on people. And I hope if you're in one, you get out. And I
Right.
hope that you have not lost too much money. And I would still love you. If you are going to continue doing it, that's fine. But keep it out of my fucking life. I don't want to hear about it. Just
Right.
like any other religion.
Just like gay people, like, don't do it in public. If you wanna huff oils, do it in the privacy of your own home. I don't wanna see it. Like, don't shove it in my face.
When we were talking about the people who will DM you from high school or whatever, or hey girl, you remember me? Somebody messaged me from high school saying like, hey girl, remember me? And I was like, actually, I don't. I had a traumatic brain injury, and so I don't remember. I don't remember anything before I was 21.
She's all, "I have just the supplement for you."
Pretty much. That's it. Went down that route, and I was like, I can't take anything from people that I don't trust. I get taken advantage of because of my traumatic brain injury that I had. So sorry.
And I see how people get sucked into cults and stuff because it is
Right.
easy and they wrap it in such a pretty package and you get discounts on shit and you're like, okay, I like to fucking be frugal, but it's all
It's
I'm
like
so
first
glad.
you're taking a discount and then you're a neo-Nazi. You never like it's
Exactly.
a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
No, and you know me, if I can help it, I will not put my money into the fucking Mormon church. I will try not to put it into any church. But like obviously, I'm sure the people at the grocery store, they get a paycheck from the grocery store and then they go tithe. Obviously, I need to go buy food. They're going to go fucking tithe. But I'm not spending it at Crumble Cookies because I know they're fucking tithing billions of dollars to the
Well,
Mormon
isn't
church.
that guy
I'm
gay?
not.
Yeah, he just came out.
Did he?
I mean,
Officially?
he was, like, forced out because they made such a big deal about it on TikTok. Yeah, he came out.
Oh my God, I missed that.
But also notice how crumble, the way that it's spelled and the way that it looks like a grinder. Like, the way
Oh, it
grinder is spelled
does
is the
because
way
they don't have.
crumble.
Because
Did
there's
you
no
guys see they
vowels
crashed Grinder again on
Yes.
Sunday or whatever day it was
in
the
Arizona.
funeral happened? Yeah.
So fucking great.
Make
What was I
America
saying?
gay
Oh,
again.
once I find, if I find out that something I'm supporting is more like, I can't do it. I physically can't do it anymore. And I loved Chalk Couture. Then they came out with a stencil that was the whole fucking Mormon temple. And I'm like, why would anybody need this? This is like crazy. And I was like, oh my God, my money and my hard work and my time. I don't give a shit about the discount. It's going to the Mormon temple.
Right.
No, the people that I'm paying above me, people that are paying above them and are tithing their money to this fucking place. No.
You guys, we've lost the plot.
Well, MLM,
Yeah,
alt-right,
MLM,
but
alt-right pipeline. It's
it
all the same.
It all comes together, folks.
I'm sure there's a beef tallow MLM out there. But yeah, it's all the same fucking shit wrapped in a different bow. You're hawking your supplements, you're hawking your MLMs, you're hawking your whatever.
Hawk-toing on-
Yes.
I mean, I would put beef tallow on my nipples when I was breastfeeding.
Tasty.
Sure.
But then I stopped breastfeeding because I wanted to take my antidepressants because I believe in science.
Right.
Right?
And the beef tallow was turning your baby into a
Republican.
Into a Republican. But now I stopped breastfeeding and stopped putting beef tallow on my nipples.
On your
And
nips.
she's a liberal now.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's what we need to do.
hallelujah.
In your homeschooling world, do you feel like there's a fair amount of people who are like-minded like you guys? Or
No.
I mean, I know that's how you
Mm-mm.
guys had to find each other because there's so
Yeah.
many people who are in that homeschool world. And I feel like that aligns with that whole wellness influencer thing because they don't
Very
want
much so.
their kids to eat the woke food, the woke pizza at school
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah, and even like I mentioned before I met Christina, even the secular ones, it's like, oh, great, there's a secular one. It's not going to be religious. But then I show up and they're like, so, a bleach bath for your autistic child or blah, blah, like just the craziest shit. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
That's a different
It's
kind
rough
that's a
out
whole
here.
other level. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It is.
it's not that I've given up on finding community, but like I found Christina and our kids get along so well that I'm just like, ugh, who has time to continue looking for more? Like I found what we needed. So
Right.
yeah. I do know the importance of having your kids around different types of people, different beliefs. However, I'm not going to send them somewhere where the people in charge, the people teaching, are just spouting off batshit crazy things.
Mhm.
Like, because a lot of these co-ops, it's like it's basically homeschooling parents. They're making their own school and they just come up with whatever the fuck they want to do.
Well,
Yeah.
it's crazy because like this is a thing that only happens here in America. Like this is not a thing in other places, and I feel like part of that is because these people who believe this way are the ones that end up in power, right?
Mhm.
So like
Mhm.
these people who tumble down this pipeline, they're the first ones to run for school board, and then just
Yeah.
like they climb the pyramid, so to speak, of like,
Mhm.
and then we have Marjorie Taylor Greene and
Mhm.
Right.
all these other wackadoodles.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a majority of people who homeschool here, at least, they do it because of the vaccine mandates.
Yeah, we're not like you. Now fucking Turning Point USA, they wanna make that the civics. They, are trying to put PragerU, in place of PBS. No fucking way. No fucking way.
Yeah, and it's crazy how different I feel like, Aaliyah, sending your kid to school in your area, even though you're only an hour and a half away, that's completely different than
It's a
Christina
whole
Mhm.
sending her kids to the local school next to the barn.
Right.
Like, it's crazy just how different it is. And I'll always say when we talk about this, I completely support public education, and my
Mhm.
kids have been in public school. It's something we've tried, but it's just, yeah, it's crazy how
well,
these
it's wild
movements co-opt like a perfectly valid option and make it just insane for everyone
into
else.
this chaos nonsense. But like even during COVID times, I mean, I guess it's still technically COVID times. I just had COVID 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. I would go out to Stockton for something and would get these crazy looks for wearing a mask. And I'm like, like really? I'm an hour away from home. I'm an hour away from the Bay. And like you're looking at me cuckoo bananas. Like,
Right.
sorry, I'm around pregnant people and babies all of the
Yeah.
time, and I don't want to get
Yeah.
sick.
They're so offended that you're, like, trying to keep them healthy. They're like, "Make me
Yeah.
sick! Make
Right,
me sick!"
not only do they not wanna wear them themselves, they're pissed that you're doing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They're like, "I don't wanna see that mask. It's demonic because 'cause you're
It's
trapping in your breath. You're keeping your breath close to you.
You're getting carbon dioxide poisoning.
Right.
You're restricting the carbon dioxide from me, and I need it because I'm crazy and I'm gonna be acidic because CO2 is acidic, and I
I
need the
saw
acid to balance my pH."
Right.
I saw people in COVID saying, "If we wear masks, how are the trees going to
The
grow?"
trees are just fine without us, I can assure you. They'd be better off without us. What a ride, you guys.
What a
I know.
bride.
All right. Any final words?
You see, when I was a child, I ate a worm. I ate an apple with a worm. And you should always eat apples with worms because that's the natural kind. You know, the pesticides get into the produce and it's giving the kids autism. And when I was a child, autism didn't exist, but brainworms did. And basically, fluoride and satellites are killing our children.
You sound like you're gonna shit your pants.
Isn't that what he sounds like? Or am I way off?
No, that's what he sounds like.
Okay, Grandpa, time for bed.
Yes.
Good
Okay,
night.
I gotta eat.
Okay.
Me too. All right.
All right.
Bye.
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 Hallelujah, I am saved, I'm so glad I am. Glory, glory, glory.
Thanks for listening to Girls Gone Godless. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode. It helps heathens like you find bitches like us. Check the link in the show notes to stay up to date on the latest heathen news and how you can become a guest on the show, or leave us a tip if you're feeling generous. See you next Sunday. Stay blasphemous.